Hey, good morning. Happy Tuesday.
You could tell if Vanessa started talking first that they were saying something they didn't want heard on a microphone right before we got cued. Funny how that works.
Now we're live.
I would never do such a thing.
Here we are.
Top of the
You
morning
do that
to
on
you.
air, Paul.
Thanks for stopping by the Today in AZ After Show.
let me
it's
turn
not
this
a news
down.
program. It's a fun little place to hang out for 20 minutes on Facebook. It's the only fun place on Facebook, actually.
Is it, though?
Yeah, the rest of it's
These days,
Don't navigate.
there's
away from this.
impeachment hearings going on right now, so Facebook is a dangerous place.
I promise we are not going to say that word again on this show.
Yay.
Hearings?
It rhymes with
I word.
schmeechment. She figured it out. She got it. All right, cool.
More confused now than
Ryan
Money
didn't get
in
it. Usually I'm the one that it goes over my head.
Not this time, my friend.
You guys see the prompt posted at the top of the page. Do you tip service workers more around the holidays? I think we could have changed that. We could have asked a simpler question.
What?
Do you tip service workers ever?
Instead of more.
Depends what the service workers
So
are.
these are the services we're talking about. We
Okay.
brought this up on the show this morning. It turns out a lot of us are pretty stingy when it comes to tipping around the holidays. Creditcards.com just came out with a new survey on holiday tipping, and it said 60% of us say we never tip our mail carrier. 70% do not tip the trash and recycling collectors. Slightly less than half do not tip their child's teachers or caregivers. Those are the sort of service people I'm talking about. I can say completely honestly, I have never tipped any of those people in my life. Should
What?
I feel bad? Am I a
Well,
bad
one, you don't
person?
have any kids.
Or a house.
Yeah. I
Right,
get that.
yeah,
But what
so-
about, like, your hair guy?
I tip my
think-
hairdresser every single time I
I
go.
think that's a
But
different-
during the holidays,
I think
yeah.
that's a different question, though. Your hair guy, your waiter, your waitress, I think is a different question than
No,
your
it's
mailman
not your-
and your
No,
garbage
so waiter
man.
and waitress is different because the reason a hair person is different is because you go to the same
Yeah,
hair
all the
person every
time.
time. You go to the same manicurist all the time. You know, it's a different story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying in addition to the typical tipping
Yes.
procedures, there should be a lump sum payment
Yes.
in celebration of the
Generally,
holiday.
Or-
the cost of the entire service without tax.
The cost of a service.
So if your
Okay.
haircut's $50, you're supposed
Right.
to give him $50
You think so highly of me.
on Christmas. Yeah.
Then I go to the barber shop like we
Wait,
do.
what is this? What is this that we
This
put
is
up
the
here?
guidance. All
Oh,
right,
there's
so
guides.
this is
Okay.
the holiday tipping considerations. Frequency of service. Okay.
Okay.
This is my point. If it's someone you see regularly,
Like your wife.
monthly,
Give her a tip. Thanks for
every
putting up with me.
day, or if it's someone that you have a regular visit to. Give cash. Always include
Always
some sort of
cash.
handwritten note.
It's not between
for
us and Uncle
this.
Sam. It's between us.
Right.
Yes.
Baked goods, I like that though. What if you tried to give your barber a cookie?
No, so this is another thing. It says you can give a small gift, like baked goods, like you just said. So
Right.
that's what I do. I don't give money. However, I will bring them a small gift. My hairdresser, my nail lady, my mail guy. I always leave him a treat,
Yeah.
when he comes. My first mail lady, she left my dogs treats for Christmas, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so nice of you.
That is nice.
Are you sure they weren't cookies for you? And they were just. Oh, okay.
It had their name on them. So I do gifts. Yeah, a tub of popcorn, baked cookies. Obviously, I,
just
don't
feel
bake
like
them
that's
myself.
one more thing I gotta buy. I gotta be
I
honest.
know.
Where I'd rather I don't always carry cash because I'm really bad about that. And sometimes, like today, like I'm going to my hair guy, so I didn't remember to get cash. But what I'll do is I'll just add it on extra
to
his regular tip.
But
Yeah.
not with cash money. Now
Well,
he's got
because I
nice
just don't
taxable
carry
income now,
cash.
though. You're burying him. You're hurting him here.
Well, maybe I gotta go to the ATM
You do.
before I
You
go.
need to
get
carry
my
around a
haircut.
wall full of cash this time.
I probably do need anyway because it's like you got to do the housekeeper,
I'm just
the
really
babysitter.
perplexed by the mailman and the garbage man.
Okay, so
Why?
the mailman, yes, because they bring your mail
I've
every day.
never met any
However,
of them
so
ever.
Sue,
You've
who's
never
one of the
seen
top
your garbage
fans.
guy?
I've seen him one time when he came by at 11 a.m. to, inside his truck, but he never got out of the truck, so I never spoke
Well, how
to
does he
him.
get the? He has the.
What garbage man doesn't have the arm on the garbage
Mine.
truck anymore? He gets out of the truck, picks
Yeah,
up your
it's
trash.
true.
in your
Guys.
neighborhood now?
Yeah.
It's like a Mr. Rogers neighborhood
And
situation.
we're-
He comes in the house, he takes his shoes off, he has a cup of coffee.
My neighborhood in Houston banned the ones with the arms, so they had to. You were not allowed to have those trucks because our streets were so narrow. So you had to. You knew your guy.
I don't know my trash guy.
Okay, hold on, time out. Time out. Because Sue is saying we might be pushing something that's illegal.
Why?
It may be illegal for mail carriers to accept tips, says
I
Sue.
have heard somebody did tell me that.
That doesn't
once.
mean they
They're not
won't
allowed
accept
to
it.
accept it.
It's a lot of illegal things being done out there.
I have heard that before, that
Yeah.
technically because they're federal workers,
You're not supposed to give them
allowed.
cash.
But what about city workers, like garbage people? Are they?
We're in the weeds on this. I don't know, man.
I don't know what the rule is.
You know, I actually read something recently too, because I was wondering about this
Humble brag.
with the barber. No, well, I do
Yeah.
read every now and then. With the barber, if you go to a place where, say, like the owner of the barber shop
Okay.
is the guy cutting
a
your
good
hair,
point.
then you don't have to tip them.
I was
but
told
if
that.
it's an employee, I don't know if this is true, but I was reading that this is a popular opinion out there, and a lot of the reason has to do with, say, similar to your waitress or your waiter, whereas the waitress or the waiter is making a substantially lower wage per hour to do that job, and so they work off of tips. So I believe you definitely need to tip at a restaurant or something like that.
So the owner is an interesting one. I feel like that's
Because
interesting
they're
I've been in
making
that
them a
situation.
larger cut
Yeah.
of the money that's
Right.
coming in just from the service in
Right.
general. So I always do tip on my haircuts and my food and stuff like that. I'm perplexed by the garbage
The
man
lump sum
thing and
payment idea.
Yeah,
with you.
that one gets me a little bit.
It's just saying thank you for everything they've done.
I
throughout the
understand.
year.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not mad at anybody who does it. Like that's great if you
Yeah.
have a good relationship with someone, and maybe that's the key. If you have a relationship
Right.
with that person,
Yeah. You don't do it
and
just
you
to
want
do it.
you know
Yeah.
you want them to show your appreciation, but you don't just tip your mailman if you've never met the guy before.
if you have a
don't
different
just
person
leave
each
cash
time.
in the
Right.
mailbox.
What if he
Yeah.
thinks I'm into him? Then what?
well,
They don't think that.
I'm teasing. Where's
they
the
might
line?
deliver some more mail to you.
Here's some of your
Great.
neighbor's mail. Enjoy.
Like in your situation, you probably wouldn't because you live in an apartment
You're
complex,
never-
I
right?
would
So you
never.
never
Trash
see your
guy,
mailman.
yeah.
In fact,
see
when
your
I
mail
see
guy.
my mail person, the mail pickup area is shut down, so I'm pissed off. Actually, when I see my mail person, it's
Yeah.
not good.
No,
And
that's
I'm
a
like,
different
come
situation.
on!
Yeah.
No, okay, hold on though. But you guys are better people than me, and I think we've established this, and definitely a better person than Ryan. So, where's the line?
Noted.
Like, who doesn't get tipped? Like, who do you leave out? Because if we're just going to tip all the people that make an impact in our lives that we've met or cross paths with on a frequent basis, somebody doesn't get tipped. Someone's
These
getting
are-
stiffed. So who's getting stiffed?
These are regular.
These are people, yeah, that are-
who-
But there's an infinite number of those. Like,
right.
what
No,
about
I have my nail
What
lady.
about the barista that makes your coffee
No,
every morning
well-
at your favorite coffee place? Yeah, I know. What about your kid's bus driver? What about your kid's teacher? What about their parapro? What about the vice
I don't know
principal,
what a
who's also
parapro
the
is.
girls' basketball coach where your daughter goes to school? Like, there could be hundreds of these people that deserve it. I'm not saying they don't deserve it, and I'm not saying you're not a good person for tipping them. I'm just saying there has to be a
Where do
line.
you draw the line?
My line is at the very beginning. I don't tip any. it makes the
terrible
work a
place
lot
to
easier.
start.
I don't know. My mom's an esthetician, and her clients tip her all the time
sure.
for extra for Christmas, or
Absolutely.
they give her a Christmas card, or they give her a gift card, or they give her some kind of treat. You know.
You have to if it's your you don't
Yeah.
have to. Sorry, but I feel I have to if it's my regular person. Like my face. So I got into it because it's like my facialist back home owned her own place, and it was literally like you walk in, it was a room, that was it. She had no other workers there. But I always felt like I had to tip her, even though they said I didn't really have to tip her. But it was awkward. What do you do when the person owns the establishment?
Tipping culture.
That's
in
where
this
you give a
country is
gift
just
instead of
weird.
tipping.
Yeah.
But I am literally
bottle
It is
of
because you go other
I'm
places
not
and there's
buying
no tipping.
one more gift. It's like I'd rather just give cash because I literally cannot go shopping for one more little trinket for people. I literally cannot.
No,
Over
you
it.
shouldn't either.
But
because
cash is king anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as someone who
people prefer- I
receives
think people
trinkets,
like
I don't
the
want the
cash.
trinkets.
I don't want it.
Well, I mean, mine
That goes in the trash that your trash man then has to pick up and then expect
Cyclical. Yeah.
Some people like,
rather just
even
give
if it's
the
like a $10 gift card
Right.
to Starbucks.
Gift cards are great.
Gift cards, different story though. Like
Yeah.
I feel like when I heard the thing about the teacher, I immediately thought,
Yes.
wait, so like parents are showing up with like
Yes.
cash in an envelope for
Yes.
their teachers?
Yes, they are.
I can
No.
see like
Yes,
gift cards and
they
baked goods
are.
and stuff like
Here you
that.
go.
How long have I been a parent? I've been a parent for 11 years. My kids have been in school since they were 18 months. It's some sort of like, either half day or whatever,
hand
blah, blah,
teachers
blah.
an envelope of
No,
cash.
here's what happens. Generally, you have a room mom that is like, okay, we're gathering a gift from all the
okay.
parents in the class.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, at our previous school, these parents, we gave enough money for not only to get the teacher like a handbag one year, but also a Yeti full of cash money.
What?
Yes. We don't play around. And so, but
You're like,
they
my kid's
always-
getting an A.
However, they always
Kids go to
They
Hogwarts?
don't know.
Like, where is
That's
this?
the
They
thing.
robbed Gringotts for this
But
present.
that's the thing is is, like, you don't know if I gave $2 and you gave $200.
Right.
It's a pooled gift.
Yeah.
However, they did also say if your child wants to make a card for Mrs. Smith, if your child wants to make a cup for Mrs.
Yeah.
Smith, you can do whatever you want. But I always like to contribute to the cash. So at this school I'm at now, at the beginning of the year when you give the PTA, they're like, this is a fund for the janitors, the people that work in the cafeterias. Everybody gives their money if they want to, and it's a lump sum that's then divvied out amongst the people who work at the school, and there's a separate one for teachers.
First of all, where I'm from, we couldn't have afforded the Yeti, let alone a cup of cash and some presents for teachers.
Right. It depends, on the
Two,
situation.
how about we just pay those people better wages?
I
and
totally
then stop
agree with
worrying
you.
about tipping and all the BS that goes along with that. How about we just allow
I
the
agree
people
with
that are
you.
raising
but I
your
think
children
people
or
take that into
keeping them safe?
consideration.
But
when
you
you're
could
tipping
argue that, for
teachers.
instance, sanitation workers do make a pretty good wage. I'm not saying they don't have a really hard job,
Really tough
but
job.
there are certain positions that we're talking about here. Someone who owns the nail salon that make good money to begin with, and so again, where is that line? Like, who do you tip and who do you not?
Let's let the people decide.
It's okay.
well,
to
everybody
say
has different.
Let's get into the people's
Yes,
comments.
what do you guys do?
Ooh, Rachel said if you can't tip, you shouldn't use their services.
Yeah, I think Rachel's wrong about this because I don't have a choice to use the mail service or the trash service.
But in your situation, we already know that you wouldn't have to do
Okay,
that.
but if you were living
Let's talk about
at
your
your
barber.
house, your mail person and your trash person, that's not optional. You can't decline the postal service. So
Now,
Rachel
I feel
doesn't have a
like-
point when it comes to
I feel
this
like
stuff.
mail and trash are the ones that are kind of going away because we don't always have the same
Yeah.
mail
Right,
people
right.
every time. Like, I don't always see my mail guy anymore. So, okay, so let's take out mail and trash. Let's just talk about your barber, your nail guy.
Right.
Because those are fair. Those are services that you use every 6
Yeah.
weeks, every other month, whatever. Let's keep in that.
I also
arena.
include my yard service guys.
Yeah, but
You know what
that's
I mean, Ryan? It's a
Because they
slippery
come
slope.
every 2 weeks, take care of my yard,
Yeah.
make sure it's
Oh,
pretty.
you pay them for
It's a
that, though, right?
service,
Right.
yes.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
It's a regular service that you use, and you're supposed to. Well,
It
would
just
be
shows
nice.
that you appreciate them, and
for
then
coming
use
back.
they
Netflix.
remember that,
I
and
have
they
to tip
go a
my
little above and
ISP
beyond
provider.
sometimes.
How about this for you to look
I use
forward
Facebook.
to?
Do you tip Zuckerberg
Yeah.
every year?
I'm not going to send Cox a check for their internet service.
Oh, that's already a lot.
Different. So here's something you guys can look forward to when you have kids. So when you have
Great. Buckle up.
when you have
Yes.
a regular
Birth control coming right now.
Exactly. Get ready for this. So when you have a regular child care person, let's say it's a regular Saturday night babysitter
Okay.
or somebody who watches your kid Monday through Friday, you're supposed to tip them the equivalent of 1 week's salary.
What? Oh my goodness.
And that's
See,
what's
I-
considered customary.
I don't have as much of a
That
problem
hurts,
with that.
but you
It's,
gotta
it's
do
when
it.
we started
Yeah.
talking about the mailman and the
Oh, I
garbage
get
man that
that.
I
I
started
totally
being
get
like,
that.
Yeah.
I get
I don't
you.
know. I've never even met that
We're in
person.
the majority, though.
So-
I mean, according to that survey.
Well,
so maybe we're not the crazy ones.
I like Russell. He said, "Don't play with matches." There's your tip.
There you go. I think this all goes
good
back
dad
to what
joke.
Biggie Smalls tried to teach us: more money, more problems. If you can afford a child care service Monday through Friday, then guess what? You owe them even more money.
Right.
That's just
Yeah,
the way
and
the world
believe
works.
me, you are very appreciative that those people show
Yeah.
up Monday
sure.
through Friday. Oh my gosh.
For sure, but you do. We're looking into this right now. It ain't cheap.
No.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is not cheap.
daycare is
I
not
mean, they're
cheap.
paying
That's why
a lot
people
of money.
decide, is it
Like
worth
I
it to
can,
work
yeah, I
sometimes?
can.
Two
We can
incomes.
barely afford to work
Right.
just to pay for this stuff,
Yeah.
and then to give them a whole another week's salary.
That is the struggle that many, many, many families in America go through every single day. It's
I
tough.
understand, like
Yeah.
it's hard work. I understand why that cost what it costs.
Yep.
But then you also have to factor in the additional week salary for that. And I'm not trying to sound ungrateful, but that is why you pay what you pay. Again, different than waiters, waitresses, people who are
different.
cutting your hair, doing
Yeah.
your nails, different than that. Because a lot of them are making something like, pennies on the dollar almost
Yeah.
in order to do that sort of stuff. I waited tables for years. I made, in this state, waiting tables made $2.75 an hour. And it was all tips. But then when you got the tips, it was more like 10 to 15 to 20, depending on the night. But that's how they got. There were times when, after taxes, your paycheck would be like $3 after 2 weeks. But that was not what you were doing. That was just to maintain your tax
So
representation. per
did
se.
you have many people regularly tip you extra during the holidays?
Your regulars.
See, I don't
No.
think I've ever done that, honestly.
Because a lot of times there are
extra
people
to a
that show up to
waiter.
the restaurant and say, I want to see Ryan. But if there's a long wait and
Usually
they're like,
they wanna
I want to
fight.
see Ryan for like
"Hey, Ryan."
an hour from now, they'll be like, no, I want to go see the guy who's available right now
Right.
because I want to eat.
I want my
Right.
window seat.
So it's different when you go to get your haircut per se, and you got your guy. You're
your
like,
guy.
I will make an appointment to see that person.
Yes.
I think that is a little bit different than
sure.
just like the person that shows up and picks up your trash.
Okay, what about hotel workers? What about hotel employees? Do you leave cash in your room when you when you check
My
out?
husband always does.
For certain things.
For housekeeping?
So, for instance, if I say like, can you bring me up some ice, or can
Then
I
you tip
then
them,
I will
yeah.
tip them
yeah,
for
give
that.
them a couple bucks for that, for
He's
sure.
like, when you leave, do you
But
leave money on the
never,
side? For
never,
the
never, never,
housekeeper?
never, never.
Not even change?
No, why would I leave?
I feel
money
like
on the
that's
counter?
messed up. You just leave a couple quarters.
Yeah,
like-
that's even
like,
worse.
Quarter.
When I'm in
Maybe a
Vegas, I
couple
leave a couple cash vouchers for like 24 cents or whatever from the casino downstairs, and I'm too lazy to go cash in.
You know what they do at some places though, where they will pool their tips, and I like when they tell
Yeah.
you about that. Like for instance, there are a lot of like cruise lines. If you go on a cruise, they will
Oh,
tell
yeah.
you beforehand. They'll say, look, whatever your bill is at the end, you're going to end up paying like 15% of
Yeah.
that extra. You can't get off the damn boat until
Right.
you do that kind of thing. And so that's happened to us before. We didn't factor it in. We're like, oh my God, but I get it because they come in, they change your sheets every day.
Yes.
They fold up those little towels
In
into
the shape of
animals and stuff.
dolphins.
And
Yeah,
so like
right.
that's 100%. I'm all about that. But it really just depends on what you're getting in return.
I know it's not our fault that housekeepers aren't paid more, but also like it's also really expensive to stay in a hotel almost anywhere.
Totally.
And so for you to have me pay $170 to stay in like a 3-star hotel and then let me know that I need to tip the person that's going to change my sheets afterwards, like that, to me, that's a tall order.
See, if someone said that to me and I was there for 4 days, then I would say, don't change my sheets.
Right.
Just leave it
But
for
that's
4
the
days.
best part of being at a hotel.
You don't have to do anything.
then
Sheets
pay for
every
that.
day.
Yeah. Or what
Again,
you
I
got,
feel
Vanessa?
like I'm sounding super insensitive here, but it's certain things. It's not everything.
Right.
You need to
Right.
tip the person when you go out to dinner.
Yeah, it's
Otherwise, don't go out to dinner.
It's not that I don't think they deserve it. It's just that there's only so much money.
Well, Cheryl said, how about your housekeeper, like the one that cleans your house, not
That's
the
me,
hotel?
and I don't tip myself at all.
Same person every week.
Yes.
Then
Same
yes.
person that comes all the time,
What it
yeah.
comes down to is the relationship that
Yes.
you have
Yeah,
with
that
that
is a-
particular
that's what it
person.
is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
a lot of that too, selfishly, is that you want that person to continue to do a good job and feel
Right.
appreciated
And
in what
that's
they
kind
do.
of where we got into this whole thing, is that if you want to keep these same people
Yeah.
in your life,
Yes.
like if you appreciate your babysitter, if you appreciate your housekeeper, your dog groomer, who maybe comes to your house and washes your dog in the little van,
Yeah.
if you want to keep them coming to you, sometimes you feel like you have to do this to maintain the relationship because they'll like you more.
They only
Bottom
like you
line.
for your money.
To each his
They don't
own.
like you as a person then.
No, they don't have to like me as a person. They just have to show up on time when I ask them to. That's all I ask of people. Just show up on time and do the job.
And I'm sure
That's
it
all I
works
want in life.
because-
You don't have to like me.
If you're that person that comes by with the groom your dog or whatever, and
Yeah.
they remember, they're like, oh, Rachel gave me that great tip last year. Like, they'll rush over there to be on time.
Yeah.
Like, I would imagine
That's
that
all
would
I
work.
want is just consistency in my life. Is that too much to ask for? I'll pay for
Yes.
it.
Chris made me laugh. He goes like, should we tip you guys for the news or traffic
Yes.
report?
yes.
Lucky for
Accepting
you,
tips.
we are a free service, my friend. So you are in luck.
Goodness. All
You
right.
can- You can afford it then.
Yeah.
Peggy says so many workers like home baked goods. She says she makes goodies for these sort of people in her life because they don't
take
have time to bake things for themselves. See, my
Yeah.
concern with
Yeah.
that though is always like there's so many people have dietary restrictions
True,
now, and
yeah.
I got gluten problems and I can't have nuts, and you didn't have nuts in your kitchen when you made this, did you? And it's just like, here's a $10 Starbucks card. Go crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like
See?
I just
And I just can't bake. So it's like, I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to give my teacher a bunch of baked goods. I'd
That's
rather
right.
just give you money to do whatever you want to do with that money.
I do half money and half gifts. Some, like I said, a bottle of wine, maybe a
Yeah, wine's
tub of
always good.
popcorn.
But then what if you're like, they don't drink? It's like, you got to
Then they can
establish all
re-gift
these
it.
What if they get drunk and forget to come by the next time?
But I always feel like they're judging me because I gave them wine and they don't drink. It's like, I just feel like it's a slippery slope.
what if it's not enough money? What if you tip somebody what you think is a fair amount for their services and they're insulted by it?
Oh,
You're probably
gosh.
better off
No.
not tipping at all.
No. I think any money is good money.
Sue said, I doubled my housekeeper's salary for Christmas.
That's what I do.
Wow.
Yeah. You're supposed to pay them the equivalent
Sue, I
of
can
1
clean
week
too.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Of one
Rachel,
service.
I can clean too. And
You're supposed to pay them. That's what I was always told you. You have to pay them the equivalent of that service. So if you pay your housekeeper $100 a visit, you're supposed to give them $200 the week of Christmas. That was my understanding. I know nobody likes it, but it's like, do you like
I'm like,
girls?
what do we
I don't
normally
hate
give?
that. It's the same person. You have a
It is what it
relationship
is.
with
You
Yeah.
have
them.
it once a year.
They're in your home, so you
Literally.
want them to think twice about like doing something
They're
they're
going
not
to get the money
supposed to
one
be
way or
doing.
another. Yeah.
I'm like, that's why my thing was broken. Something was broken.
it's
next
just
day.
easy.
It unfairly always goes to that, right? You're like, who is?
I know. It's a tough time of year, believe me. I'm like thinking in my head today as I go to my hairdresser, I'm like, okay, how much do I need to get out of the ATM for all these people I have to tip
my
in this next
goodness.
2 weeks? And it's just part of the deal. It's
Yeah.
once a year.
All right, real
it.
quick from Emily, little family tradition here. My
What?
family of 10 goes to Denny's Christmas morning. We tip our waitress $100. So if you
that's
work at a local
nice.
Denny's,
Love
keep
that.
your eyes peeled for
Well, and
Emily
think about that
Richardson.
too, because that person is working on Christmas morning.
Yeah.
So there's a little. I do love that. I appreciate that sentiment there.
We had a bunch of fun stuff in the show, and then it all fell by
Wait,
the
do we want to
wayside.
do one more? Do you want the in case you missed it or the
We
juice?
kind of don't have time.
We have one more for one
Can
only.
we do the juice?
What do you want to do?
Tell us.
All right, roll the
Juice.
juice. Let's do some
Do it.
fresh squeezed juice this morning. What do we got? Vanessa's excited about it.
You know why I
Must be
like
good.
this?
We're both excited.
Hi guys, I'm just waking up and I just heard that I got nominated for Best Supporting Actress for a Golden Globe. Oh my God, it's been 20 years since I was nominated for Selena. I just want to thank the Hollywood Foreign Press Association for this incredible honor. I am humbled and so excited to be recognized for this role as Ramona in Hustlers. Thank you so much, and I'll see you at the Globes.
Oh, how cute is this? J-Lo posted this video on her Instagram after learning that she was nominated for a Golden Globe. As you heard, the last time she was nominated for one was over 20 years ago, and that was for her role in Selena. Congrats to her and to everyone nominated. You can watch the Golden Globes right here on 12 News Sunday on January 5th. But I'm excited that she didn't even wait to get dolled up. She's just like,
love
look,
it.
I'm going to go on there right now.
she's
She added a filter,
J-Lo, yeah.
but yeah.
I love it.
That she just like, you guys, I'm so excited. I'm just going to tell you all
Does
this.
she have a weird filter on that?
Yeah,
She did have a weird
'cause
filter.
She had the dough on.
Yeah.
Like the big
It smooths your skin out a little bit. I would have used.
moving
I'm
very
not
much. I couldn't
hating
tell
on
if there
her.
was a lot of.
No. I would have used the subtle filter.
What filter is that?
It's the Botox filter.
I didn't discover that.
She looks great.
Yeah.
This is her year.
Yeah, it
You
is her
guys
year.
need
She's
to
done
all
everything
accept it.
this
We
year.
gotta just exit stage left here
You
because
know,
these
Paul
two. This
totally
is the
disagrees with
wrong
me on this
side
one.
of the table to talk
Yes,
about.
girl. This
Yes.
is J-Lo's
We
year.
are proud of
Want to
you,
talk about
J-Lo.
A-Rod?
No, not really. Quite frankly, I wish A-Rod would go away, but whatever. We're going to go away. We'll be back at 7:30 for another edition of the Today in AZ After Show. Maybe we'll get to some of the show segments this time instead of talking about how cheap we are. Who knows?
No, I like that
Speak for
subject.
yourself.
I know. I'm like, wait a minute. We're not.
Get off my
High
lawn.
five, girl.